Good morning and welcome to the 445 Productive from Joy Show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early, 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, and at 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Guys, today we're talking about crossroads opportunities. At times people call them crossroads situations or crossroad challenges or crossroad drama. But we view crossroads as opportunities to, in the vernacular, to show and prove, but also to draw upon the inner resources, the inner power, to demonstrate, the opportunities to demonstrate that you are the answer, that you have within you that primordial spirit, that power exists in you to meet the challenge at hand, right? And also inspire those who are bearing witness to embrace their own challenges. Thanks for being here. You can go to productivethroughjoy.com to see about us. We speak to groups, schools, and organizations about being productive through joy. Let's dive in. And so, because of COVID, it's in our last President, Mr. Trump's 4-year reign of pretty much daily chaos, many of us really challenged on top of our normal everyday living challenges, and it gave us an opportunity if we could survive it. And many of us, I struggled this last 5 years. Just not to mention my every other day struggles, just Black man in America, struggles. That overlay on top of my regular life, it was super intense for me. I'm sure it was for many people. So, in that crossroads of 5 years, because we are up in it still, we're just kind of inching out of it. I went through a lot of crossroad opportunities, and through those opportunities to show and prove, to really draw from internal resources, what happened for me is that it drove me to really work on my spiritual practice even more. I've been working on that for a while, but just out of necessity, because I was feeling like this is dangerous. This situation, for mental health reasons, for physical reasons, for so many reasons. To be in that type of elongated pressure cooker is very challenging. So it drew me to draw within, to sup on the inner power. And thank God I did that, because that experience helped me to elevate my spiritual game, and to become a stronger, more vibrant person, and more effective and more productive person. And so, which is point one. So sometimes these crossroads opportunities, as we call them, crossroads opportunities, are opportunities to bring to the fore resources that you have, but maybe have not fully explored, which goes into point two. As you explore what I would just call your inner resources, right? One of my boys has it's new to me, it's an album. So they call it the Inner Course, INNER course, as in a course of study or a course on a path. And it's such a clever and great way to think about what we're doing. There's also an inner course, inner path to take to address issues. And because, as the Metu talks about, we all have a native personality. In many ways, which I used to never believe in this stuff, but you just see the similarities of folks who are born under a certain sign, which simply means when you were born, where the primary influence is where the sun was, where the earth was vis-a-vis the sun, when you were born. That somehow impacts your personality, which is such an interesting thing, but it does. So I'm a Gemini, and so I know lots of Geminis, and a lot of the Geminis, we have a lot of the same qualities. You have to acknowledge that that's true, But that native personality is not doesn't have to be your own or your consistent or your only personality or your only foundational personality, right? You can draw from what they call the other native usually 6 or 8 personality types within all people. One is like a warrior type. You can draw from these situations, these personality types, these iconic representations in situations that demand them, right? And so that's the beauty of crossroads, as you face some challenge where you need to go handle some business, you can draw from these other aspects of who you are. And my Kemetic or ancient Egyptian spiritual practice, that's a major part of how we do it. We draw from the inner resources, the spiritual kind of the concretized spiritual entities inside of us, which is all just God, but manifestations of the Most High. And so I am arguing that all people have that. I'm sure they do. And as you go through crossroads opportunities, a lot of times you're forced to like work on that and get into that part of your inner work, that part of your inner spirit, to draw on that power to use it in the real world, which goes right into point 3. As you combine that inner and outer work, right? Because you have to still like do the work. You can't just, I guess you could maybe, for some people who are so advanced, you can just meditate on and it'll all work out. I find, at least in my approach to it, is I do all that spiritual work. Of course, this show is a part of it. This show, as a sidebar, is me just sharing. I'm not sure when this happened, but eventually at one point, back in the day, I realized that maybe other people are going through stuff too. I'll just talk about my stuff on social media, and maybe we can all work through it together, which is why this show even is happening right now. Because I figured out that many people probably are going through things that I'm going through, and we can all work it out together. I do not have all the answers, trust me, but I am definitely working at it. That's for sure, for my family, my communities, my ancestors, and myself. And I know that many of us, including me, I definitely need help, inspiration, guidance, which are things I aggressively pursue. So, sidebar, which again goes into point 3. As you combine the inner and outer work, the inner and the outer work, when you do that inner work, meditating, yoga, if you know the show, we discuss various ways to access this power. And then do the outer work, the discipline, the up in the morning, the doing what needs to be done, the handling business, or as Damian Marley says, handling your folks, your biz like grown-ups, right? Then, I don't know, in my experience, great things happen. I use the word great because having that be one of your objectives, greatness in whatever field or however you define greatness. We are defining greatness in different ways, but I'm encouraging people to be pursuing greatness, guys, to have ambition, not just for a nice ride, although having a nice ride is fine. Having a nice crib is fine, whatever. Go for that stuff. But beyond that, seek greatness in some enterprise, some part of your life, whether you're a great husband or a great wife or a great business person or a great artist. Seek greatness and allow that to drive you. And in my experience, certainly when you're combining the inner and outer work and you're pursuing greatness has a great opportunity to manifest. Boom, out goes the dynamite. Thanks for being here, guys. We'll see you when? Today at 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces, I'm out like a light.